April is World Autism Month, which aims to inspire conversations about autism and teach others how they can help with people with autism reach their full potential through inclusion and kindness. Joining us now to talk about Autism Awareness Month and how she is impacted by it is Nichole Ferguson. Nichole, thank you so much for joining us again today.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
This is one of my favorite subjects to talk about.
So, Nichole, will you first tell us a little bit of background information on how autism impacts your life and your family's life?
Well, I have a couple of kids, and I just noticed there was something just a little bit off about my son, and I just went and just in coordination with his pediatrician, just made sure I documented my experiences with him. And then there's a pretty extensive process of testing to find out that my kiddo was on the spectrum, but actually we got him involved in early intervention is the key, and we got him involved in a program at Oakland, in Oakland County, at Scotch Elementary here in West Bloomfield, and he's been thriving ever since. And I've been teaching. I'm also a health and wellness coach, and also a yoga teacher. So that's when I started my my education and what I could do in my field that would help my son just kind of self-regulate. So that's one of the reasons.
And Nichole, can we talk a little bit about what World Autism Month means to you to be able to dedicate this time and advocate and teach others about autism and how the people that are diagnosed with it are impacted?
Well, this is it. It is a special month, and I think we should use this time to really celebrate our kids and their special skills in autism. And there's several Facebook groups, but I am part of a Facebook group that we showcase our son's skills. So I just showcase my son and I doing yoga. He's really good at headstands and inversions, and we actually do a lot of, they're called mudras, which is just yoga for your hands. And it helps with kids, and it helps bring their brain together, brings the right and left side of their brain together for them to help self-regulate and control their impulses and regulate their emotions. So, and I'm also working with the Jewish Community Center. They have a special needs department, and we also participate in yoga with special needs kids there as well. And it's just one of the things that they can feel proud about. It helps build confidence, and it's really time we showcase our kids and their special gifts to the world.
And Nichole, your passion in health and wellness has allowed you to help those with autism through yoga. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the different programs that you have done with those who are diagnosed with autism?
Well, I've actually been a part of my kiddos' classes from the very, very beginning at Chico Elementary, Doherty Elementary, middle school. They kind of kick you out around that time, but every single class, every single week, pre-pandemic, and I hope to be back in the schools, but all kids can get benefits from their yoga practice with in the classroom. And believe me, after you kind of know the signs, some kids probably haven't been diagnosed or haven't gone through the process that show signs of special needs.
And Nichole, could you talk a little bit about how yoga and how you figured out that yoga is beneficial to those children who are diagnosed with autism and on the spectrum? What types of mental and physical practices and capabilities does yoga bring to those kids who have autism?
Well, I know when my kiddo gets a little bit out of sorts or upset, I ask him to do certain things, and you start to train the brain to regulate. And he goes back to those things, just like in social work in school. They teach you to go to maybe count to 10, or what are the things that help calm you. And yoga is just part of that tool basket that we use to help our kids feel better about themselves, to calm themselves down, and to regulate their thoughts, their feelings, their emotions, and it determines how they proceed forward, how they learn, and they can do poses. They can do, we call them mudras, different forms of hand yoga that we do in class, and they actually help either regulate their mood, either bring them down or even bring them up.
And Nichole, could you talk a little bit about the journey of dealing with your son who has autism, and giving advice to those parents who are either have a child that is newly diagnosed with autism or someone who is seeing those early signs of autism, and some advice that you have for them as they go through this journey?
Oh, absolutely. Get support. Do not go through this journey by yourself, or but have the courage to go through this journey. Michigan Alliance Autism. I'm probably have it out of sorts, but the Autism Alliance of Michigan is a great place to start. And with your pediatrician, if your kiddo is young or under 18, is also a great place to start. And be persistent. Be persistent with the school. Know that you have rights for your kiddo to get evaluated. Interface with other moms that you might think might have kids on the spectrum. And my mothers have been a great resource for me, and actually being online has been a great resource. But don't stop, be persistent, search out for help, and it's your kiddo can only benefit from everything that you're doing, especially right now. The earlier the better, always.
And Nichole, for those parents that have a child with autism, can you give us some information on those yoga classes that you do with those children who are on the spectrum, as well as some of those other programs that you are involved with?
Well, right now classes are just starting to populate, and we're starting to open back up in the fitness centers and places. And right now, the Jewish community, they have the Jewish Community Center, which is open to everyone. They have camps going on this summer, and there's also camps that they have going on for like spring break, winter break, things like that. You can contact them. They're the number kind of evades me, but they're definitely on the web. Just look up Jewish Community Center, West Bloomfield, Special Needs Department, and that's a part. I'm going to be teaching some yoga there this summer, which I'm super excited about. And so that's just one. Right now, that's the only place that I'm teaching yoga right now.
Well, Nichole, it's such a pleasure talking to you, as always, on the Splash Live. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Oh, thank you for having me, and thank you for bringing attention and awareness to autism and those of us who have kids on the spectrum, and how we want to improve their lives and just make them just successful in this world. So thank you very much, Maddie.
Well, we appreciate you, Nichole, and thank you so much.